Okay, now it's into a recording mode. Okay, fine. So for screenshots also, we have to have a separate method. Okay, so that we can take all the screenshots. Okay, we can write it here itself. Okay, so now just before writing itself, you should be able to guess like what not to accept and what not to accept, and how the method should look like. Okay, so now you guys should guess how the method should be. Okay, so what is the important thing for screenshots first?
When the screenshot should be taken.
I didn't get you.
I mean, when it should be taken. If you are taking for every time, then it might take a lot of memory. So
Okay, fine.
on failure, it should take.
Yeah, so you cannot define that one here. On failure, you should take. You cannot define that one now. So you are taking the screenshot on failure. Okay, so you cannot write 4 lines of code every time, right?
Yes.
So for that one, you will be creating a method. Okay.
Yes.
So in this method, what it should contain, this particular function or method?
It should have
It should
a
have
path,
this
the path and the screenshot name.
screenshot name mainly.
Okay.
Yeah, path name. Yes, these two.
Okay. So are these two enough? Yes, it's
Yes.
enough.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Consider Sanjay and Lokan. Something like tomorrow, is there any assurance that we are not going to use the same name?
no, it should change for every screenshot.
Okay. Even we give the same name. So what we would, yeah, Loka, go ahead.
We can go for the time also, plus screenshot plus time, so that it will be name plus time.
Oh, yes, you can use the name and with time. Okay. Either suffix it, okay, suffix the time so that it will be easier. Okay. Time is always going to be your unique value. So these two are required. Let's create a function which accepts these two. Okay, is it okay? The function name capture screenshot. Does it make sense to the user what this method does?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. So now we have to change the thing. So what first is path, right?
Yeah.
Path should be
String.
Now the question arises is like,
Path is not required, I'm thinking, right? Because we store in the same location.
no, I don't want in the same location. I want in a different location.
Okay, yeah, then there's path. Yeah.
Okay, but at the same time, there is one more tester along with me, and he considers I don't want to pass the name. Now, how will you deal it?
It's overloading.
Optional. You can do it.
Right. So, shall we put now the name of the screenshot? Okay. Sorry, we have to name it in same way. Okay, name of screenshot. This is also going to be a string. Okay. Now tell me which one should be optional, which one should be mandatory.
Anything fine.
No, guys. No, it's not that, Lokan. It's something like you should be able to guess it. Like this is how it should be. Okay. See, it is something like, you know, a new fresher also will say like, this is how we have to do it. But the more and more we get experience, no, we should know that how the code should look like.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, this comes under part of, you know, whenever you review a code, you have to see these kind of things.
Okay.
So I was not asking because of that. I was asking like, are you guys understood that optional concept? Can I put something here? Something like this path or something like this, right?
Yeah, I mean, if path is not passed, then by default it should go to some path.
Or can I put this one? Question mark. What happens when I put a question mark in the first parameter?
That is optional, right?
It becomes optional, but when first parameter is optional, the remaining, yes,
Optional should always come at the end.
yes, otherwise,
It will throw error.
yes. So because you cannot have mandatory fields at the end. So
Yeah.
once you start giving the optional for the first one, then you make sure the remaining also optional.
Optional. Okay.
Either optional or you push the mandatory one to the first. Okay. Shall we make both of them optional?
Nice.
Some guy thinks like, I don't want to take a screenshot or something like I don't give a path. Okay. The other guy thinks like I don't want to give the name. Let it be the unique name. Okay. So let's bring it first. Most of the time, name will not be optional. Okay. We will be adding some strings for that, but path is going to be optional. But so which one is better, optional or default?
Default.
Shall I make it this one? Same folder. Okay, so now you have given a path. Now I am taking a relative path. So to make more sense, you have to give a whether you are accepting a relative path or an absolute path. Right? Will it make more sense rather than a path?
Relative path will be same.
Relative path in a sense like the path will be based on your ts config file is present, right? Ts config and protractor conf. So based on that one, your path will be decided. So if you put a dot slash, it will be pointing this folder only. This is a protractor demo folder.
Yeah.
Okay, protractor batch one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that will be better, right? Relative path.
Yeah, no, actually it is up to you. Okay, but
Okay.
if you are sure that you are going to accept only relative path, okay, just give it as a relative path. If you are going to accept absolute path, you give us the absolute path. If you are not worried about path, then you can give path, but it's always better to use a relative path because it will be based on your project when you use a relative path. But when you use your absolute path, what happens is like it will be based on your system.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, consider this PC. Okay, now I'm into some folder, consider like documents, and then zoom. Okay, so it says like a C/user/user documents zoom. So if I give this particular path and if tomorrow Sanjay executes, the path will be same or different? Is it going to be same? If I give this path to take the screenshot, what happens in Sanjay's system if he executes the same code?
Won't be available.
Path will be different.
Yes, you might have C/user/Sanjay/documents/zoom.
Yes.
So it tends to fail. It's more tend to fail. So, but if I give a relative path, okay, so you will also going to have this folder. It's not even worrying about this folder. It only worries about the TS config. Okay. So where the execution is happening. Even you don't have a TS config also, it will take it from the root, okay, root folder, and it will consider that folder as a base folder. Okay. So you change a number of system, it's going to be present. Okay. So let's create a new spec. Screenshot I -ts. Okay. So just let me copy a small code. Okay, now I'm trying to open this particular page and we want to take a screenshot. How we take a screenshot is like browser dot take screenshot. So when we take a screenshot, we will get data. So data comes in the format of
Promise.
okay, promise. Okay. So we have to receive it here, something like data. Create. So once we receive data, we have to store it. Okay, for that we will be using create stream. Okay, so in Selenium also you will have this kind of one utility function. Like normally you will use like file utils, if you guys remember.
Copy.
Yes, file utils dot
Yes.
copy.
So in the same way, we will be using a create stream, and for that purpose, we will be using this particular data as well along with it. Because with this data only, we are going to create the stream. Okay. So tell me now, do I need to find any element to take screenshot?
No.
Why?
No need. Because it
I
will be
mean,
according to the window we are capturing.
yeah, it takes the screenshot of whole screen, right?
Whole screen.
Okay. So what happens if I try to execute inside a frame? I have not done it, but what happens? Any guess?
No,
It will.
no. Before say we are executing, when if you have to take the photo inside the frame, then we would have already navigated to that, switched to that frame, and then we would have done some operation, right? So control will be there, right?
Yes. So what happens is like it will take the frame screenshot. Okay, that's what happens as per the description. Okay, so to use this particular to convert this data into a file, we have to import a method. Okay, which is called create a write stream. Okay, let's try to write that method name and see whether we are getting a particular method as a a suggestion.
Yes.
So the first one we are getting. Okay, so we can import the create write stream. Okay, and this create write stream, what it does is like it will accept a file name. Okay, file name you can give anything. For example, if you want to give just a sample, just give it as a sample in the format of string, but make sure that whatever the string you are giving, it has this extension for your image. Okay, whether you want to go for JPEG or PNG or any other format. Okay, now you got to store this particular thing in a variable. Okay, or we can directly use it as well. Okay, so in this one we have one more method called write. Okay, write accepts a bit of a chunk of data. This chunk of data is nothing but your buffers. Okay, normally they call it as buffers. Like this will be in some XYZ format you can consider. Okay, now we can convert this into a base 64 format. Like this will be in base 64 and a file format, and there is one more format. Okay, so these three formats, but mostly protractor uses base 64 format. So to write this particular base 64, we have to use a buffer class. Okay, so what happens is like this buffer class accepts this base 64 data, and then it converts into a file. Okay, so for that purpose we have to use new buffer. Buffer is a method. So here we have to provide the data which one we want to make it into a file. Okay, here it is data. Okay, so the next parameter you have to pass what format it is, like base 64. Okay, we are, as of now we are having base 64 format, so you have to pass that one. And yes, yeah. Okay, so we have created this particular part. So but we have to write this data into your file system. For that purpose, okay, we will be using one more thing called No? Not at all. There is one more method called end. Okay, or in Java you can call it as flush. Okay. Somehow I'm not getting it. Okay, let me store it in a variable itself. Stream.
Pawan, this write is inside the buffer or it is
No, actually it
at
is
base
not.
64?
Yeah. Yeah, yes. It's in. It should come inside the buffer itself. Okay. So buffer accepts data and the format, like which one you want to convert.
Okay.
Then you can write it to using end. Okay, but somehow I'm not getting the suggestions. Let's rewrite it. Okay, now we will be writing str what is it, str dot write. Okay, so after that what we have to do is we have to flush it. Str dot end. Okay, there is a method called str dot end. Basically here you are writing this format into this stream. Okay, this particular file, but this file still will be in your JVM or in a Node.js level only. So you have to push it into your local system. Okay, so for that purpose you will be using str.end. Okay, so now what should happen is like it should create a screenshot in this particular folder, pro batch 1. Okay, let me open it in Explorer. Okay, now let's run. So before running, just we need to make sure the protractor conf file is pointing to this particular screenshot spec. Okay, let's run. We'll see like whether it runs or not. It's taking a bit time today. Oh, okay, it was opening in Firefox, I guess. Okay, but let's see whether it has taken a screenshot or not. It's not here. Let's go into JSPOM. Sorry, not here actually. It'll be in POM. Here also it's not there. Let's go to JSPOM and POM, and we have the screenshot here. Okay, because we are running the protractor conf.js, right? So it took this one as the root directory. Let me open it. Okay, it's kind of too slow in my system to opening the screenshot. Okay, this is the screenshot. So now let's try with the Google site. Okay, let's change it. Change the website name to google.com. Let's run it again. Google has come, and yeah, we have not changed the thing, right? So there's a chance that. Okay, now we have Google screenshots. So any doubt on this, guys?
Can you just explain this create stream, create write stream?
Okay. Consider previously I was trying something like this one. I was trying to write a single sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. So first I'll explain that one later after this one.
Okay.
So first we have to create a file container. Okay. So everything till this part, okay, you are doing virtually. Okay. You're not actually running on the your in your machine, local machine. It happens in the JVM level. Okay.
Okay.
So what happens is like it will take the screenshot, sorry, here, and we will receive the data. Okay. Now we are creating a container. Consider like there is a photo frame. Okay. The photo is not inside the frame yet, but we have created a photo frame. Okay. The moment after this photo frame is created, we are trying to write, okay, to that particular stream, to that photo frame, we are trying to push our data, okay, which is in the format of 64. Actually, when we get the data, it will be in the 64 format. It will be like a kind of ASCII format, okay, for images, not other than JPEG. Okay, so normally it is something like you can convert image into a bytes, okay, bytes to images in Java. Similar way, the image could be in a different format when it is in a raw file format. It's something like a base 64 and a file format. Okay, there is one more format. I'm not sure about the format name. Okay, so there are three kinds of format. So one kind is base 64. So we consider this data as the base 64, and we want to write it into the canvas that we have created in the previous line. Okay.
Okay.
Actually here we are buffer, we are converting it into actual data. Okay, so far it is in a raw format only. Till here it will be raw format. Once this buffer is come into picture, it will change into a format of a picture. Okay.
Okay.
So this one only converts into a picture, not these two. Okay, so based on these two, it will convert into a picture, and it will write it into this particular canvas, into a create stream canvas, whatever name we are giving, right? So it's going to be a file name, and it's going to be a canvas for the picture. Here we are trying to write this picture into the canvas.
Okay.
So far what we are doing is like we are trying to write the image on the virtual machine.
Okay.
So if I remove this particular line of code, and if we execute it, it probably will not create any image. Okay, let me run it for a moment's sake. Let me change it to Bing. I hope so.
Pawan, it will, I think, I have not given, but it has taken the screenshot.
Okay, so, okay, just give me a second. I thought like it is also like a flash only. Okay, let's see. Even I have not tried it. Yeah, it takes the screenshot. Yeah, it's taking the screenshot. Just then I guess we are just ending the stream here. Okay, the file stream. Okay, we have opened the stream. Now we are ending it. I guess that's all.
Okay.
Okay, I thought like it is going to flash. Okay, but in Java you have a method called flash. Okay, so which will be something like from the channel it will convert it into, not convert, actually it will push it into your local system. And then yes, we will be using a dot close method. Similarly here we are using a stream dot end method, that we are closing the writing stream. Okay. So yesterday you guys were telling some doubts, right?
Pawan, that's what doubt, right? This one, right? I changed the outside of the POM. I mean, I want inside any project, but still it is going to JS file only. If I given the path also, right? If I change the path, but
Mhm.
it is checking inside the JS file path.
Okay, fine. So for example, moment's sake, I'll create a some path. Okay, so this is my not this one actually. Okay, so this is where I have configured my Jenkins. Okay, so let me give this path to the folder. So when you using backwards slashes, you have to use double. Otherwise, it will consider your letter as a escape sequence if there is any escape sequence letter is present. Something like if you have a slash n means it will consider like a new line. Okay, so now I am giving the outside of our project. Okay, altogether it's going to a desktop. Okay, so here we have our screenshot sample. Okay, let's bring it to this one itself. See, we got our screenshot. Okay.
Pawan,
Yeah.
but I have given a relative path
Yeah.
and I have not given.
Yeah, we'll go with a relative path now. Okay. So I am giving a slash sample. So if I give this one, what it does is it will create in the same folder. Okay, so it will create here itself. Let's execute this one. This time I'm changing to DuckDuckGo and let me run it. Okay, in the same folder, we are still in the same folder. Now you can see the sample, right? Let me delete this one. Now let's give like one more step above. So now where it should create is, now it created in the POM folder, right? Now it should create your screenshot on this JS POM. Okay, that's what we are telling. Like from this step, it is simple. Like just go to your CMD. Okay, if you say like a CD dot dot, where it goes one step above. Okay, similarly here also one step above it will go. Okay, now let's rerun it again and just make sure like there is no already existing image. Okay, so there is no image. Are you guys able to see the screenshot now here, sample?
Yes.
Okay, now let's, if I try to create another folder, okay, there is a thing called I'm giving like UUU folder. If I try to run it, what happens is like it will throw an error saying that there is no path or no directory actually. Okay, it says like no such file or directory. Okay, you can read this guys, right? In the bottom, in the red color.
Yes.
Yes, Pawan.
So this is what you might be getting the error. Okay, otherwise just check Loka whether you have enough permissions to write a files there.
Okay, Pawan. Yeah, I will check and I will come back, Pawan. Yeah.
Okay, so this is how we'll create. Now let's move this particular part into our method. Okay, now you have to import it again. So also make sure that you don't have unused imports in your spec file. So now we are accepting the relative path here, and we have to accept the name of the screenshot. Okay. Now let's try to rerun it again and see whether we have
Can you come back to that?
yeah, sure.
Okay, here we gave the name of the screenshot is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Relative path, where are we using?
You are not using the relative path.
Okay.
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 If you want to use relative path, you have to put it here, okay, in the front of a screenshot, and then add a plus sign.
Plus sign and then come. Okay. Connect.
Okay. Now what happens is dot slash the screenshot name. Okay. Also, you can give a types like whether you want to give a specific to the user, like whether he has to give the .png or not. Okay, that also is there. It's not necessarily, but you can give it. Okay, let's create object for some operations. Some operation dot says error. Okay, it's a Java format. Actually, I forgot. Okay, now S4 dot capture screenshot. So it says like name of the screenshot in the format of string. Screenshot is last screenshot. Okay. Now extension you have to give. Okay.
Okay.
If you want the the user to choose the extension, you can leave it. Okay. In the operations, but if you want to make sure like all the time enforce it with .png, then what you can do is again add a plus dot png. Okay. So, but I would say rather than writing something like this one, it is better, when you write let extension equal to this thing. Okay. And then use the extension here, right? Because tomorrow if somebody wants to change, you can change it. So this is enough. Okay, let's run, and next time I will give that relative path or path if you want. So this time it will store it in our POM folder itself. Okay, not in the JS POM, but inside the POM. Here we will get the screenshot. Last screenshot we got. Okay.
So by default, wherever the tsconfig.js is there, it will show the screenshot there.
Yes, mostly because that is your starting point, right?
Okay.
So if you put js.conf.js file in outside, then it will store it there only. Because from that point only you will be executing every single thing.
Okay.
Okay. So any doubt, Loka and Sanjay, now on this one?
No, Pawan. Yeah.
Actually, in protractor there is no much methods on this one. Okay, screenshot. So only these operations are present. Like you can take screenshots and it will be enough. But let's do that experiment. Actually, I was talking right. Let's see where we have these frames. Let's bring this particular ones. Even I'm not sure. I never done it. So when you copy a code, just make sure that you're importing all the things, all the required things. Okay. So actually I did nothing, just I'm trying to switch to a frame one.
frame.
Okay.
Okay.
And the frame one which has a topic or something. Let's see. Frame one is this one, I guess. Yeah, the red color topic. Okay, that one. A frame shot. Now clear the screen and then again rerun it, and we'll see like what happens with it. So it will be in the same here. It takes a complete screenshot only, not frame level screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all with the screenshot, guys. So there is not much things, but in case if you are handling with the Selenium, you have a few more like how you convert one screenshot to another screenshot. Sorry, one format to another format, and how will you capture a particular element alone. Okay, so those kind of things will come in Java when you are using Selenium, and from Java there is a class called images. Okay, it's purely from Java, so which will help you to take this screenshot of the element. It's actually not a screenshot of element. Okay, let's consider like we don't have it, but just discuss about that one, how this element can be captured. Okay,
Okay.
now consider you have a utility class which can crop a image.
Okay.
Okay, if you give some xyz coordinates, you can crop it. That particular class crops it. Okay, that particular part of it. Now, how will you get it? How will you get the screenshot of this particular text bar?
Get position. And
Is there anything called get position? Get position of what?
this element, the x and y coordinates we get, right?
Is it a get a position or get location? No, it is get location. Okay, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Get position is also the same, but that is for a browser.
Okay.
Get location is for the element. Okay.
Okay.
So the approach is right. So you will get the element. Then so you will get this particular point wherever I'm pointing my cursor. Okay, you got that particular point. Then what you have to do? Guess.
Then after that, need to get the width and height.
Width and
Height.
height. Okay. So how will you get it width and height?
That it is get size.
Okay. Get size. Using get size, you will get the get width and height. Now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Then. Actually, you are in exact path. Okay. So, as you were telling, like, you have to get the position basically. So, we will be using get location. We will get the starting x1 and x2, x start and y start. Okay. For this one. Now, another one we want is x final and y final.
Okay.
So, as you said, to calculate the x final and y final, we have to take the width and height.
Okay. So, do we need to add width to the x and then we'll get final?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So, if you add it, you will get this particular point.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you have x1, x2, and x final and y final. Okay. Now, if you pass this one to image cropping class, it will crop this particular part alone.
Okay.
Okay. So So this is how you will take the you will capture the element. Okay, there is another famous interview question. Actually, some guy asked me. I was telling the same way. Okay,
Okay.
so I was telling like take the location and get the x width, sorry, the width of the element and y width of the element. Now the same image utility class provides another method to highlight that particular or draw a rectangle and circles. It gives other options also.
Yes.
So draw a rectangle. He asked me like highlight the element, okay, and then take the screenshot. I was explaining him like get the width and positions, and then you draw the screen, draw the red line or blue line or whatever line, so that you will get the rectangle around your, what you call, image or the particular element.
Okay.
But that guy said something like, yeah, that is fine, you can do it. Don't you think it will consume more time and capacity from the system if you are going for image processing classes?
Yeah. It does.
Yes, even I said yes, but I said like this is the only way I know. But then he explained me like, so we ignore about that guy now. Let's talk now. So have we discussed about highlighting an element?
No.
Okay. Have we discussed about JavaScript?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in JavaScript, we can highlight any element. Okay. For example, consider Google. So you was telling like use the JavaScript to highlight the element first. Okay. Then take a screenshot.
Okay.
So it's end result, whatever he expected, he will be getting. Okay, for example, I will bring it a little up. Okay, so we have a queue as a name. Okay, now in the console, can I write something like a document dot get elements by class name, and then the provide the name, then get the 0th element, which is this one. And then we have to provide style dot border, okay, equal to it's something like 2 pixel red, I guess. I'm not sure, but just I'm giving a blind try. Okay, it is not highlighting. Nothing happened. Okay, we received it here. Okay, fine. So let's use a different one this time. Let's go with class name. But this is the way normally we do it. Dot get element by class name. How get the 0th element? Okay, fine. Ignore about that text bar. I'm not able to get around of it. Okay, so for example sake, consider this button k itself. It's not highlighting, but it's okay. Okay, so this is the way we have to do it. Okay, Arvis, just give me a moment. I will tell you guys. Border. Pixel. Right. Okay, it should come, but it's not coming. It's okay. Okay, so just understand this way. Okay, so you can using the styles, you can make a particular thing into a formatted, okay, using a CSS. Okay, so any other doubt, guys, other than this one? Ignore this one and this one screenshot part, I guess.
No problem.
No
Right.
problem.
So we'll see another topic today. We have little time. Okay, we'll see this cookies. Cookies also will not be a big topic, but let's see. So for example, I'll go to a site called GoDaddy. You guys want to buy anything? Something like tools. Selenium. Let's try with Selenium HQ, or let me try with already this same name. Sure.
Okay.
It will not be available. Such a tech will not be available. But if you see, no, you will get the normal pricings. Okay. But when you go hidden, okay, something like incognito, you may get different prices itself sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes. chercher.io 3236. It's not giving the thing, but normally they will set a cookie, okay, in your system. Once they set the cookie, you know, it means like they think like you have already visited this site, okay, and you are searching for websites or something. Now what they will do is they will increase the price.
Okay.
Okay, because you have already visited or you already searched for this thing, okay, because of which they will increase little price. So whenever you go for incognito, the cookies will not be enabled. Okay, so at that time you will get a new fresh one. Okay, that time they cannot manipulate the prices using cookies. For example, yesterday I was telling this thing, the site itself. Here itself we are also playing with cookies a little, not much. Okay, now it's opening the site. If I move the cursor out of this particular document, it will show a pop-up. Okay, so this is a model. It, as I was explaining yesterday, when a cookie is set, okay, you will not get this particular pop-up. When cookie is not set, you will get this, you will get to see this pop-up. If I close this one, it will, you know, it will not show this pop-up for another 7 days. But if I click download, it will never show this pop-up ever again. Okay, so this is one of the thing. Now how do we see whether we are actually setting the cookie or not? Okay, so I'm opening the same URL in Chrome incognito, so that we can verify it in console itself, like how many cookies we are setting. Okay, so go to application. Okay, if you want to see whether a particular site sets the cookie or not. Okay, so here you can see the domains. Okay, so every site sets a cookie and you will get it as a different items, all the cookies. Okay, if you click this chercher tech, it will showcase like what are the cookies are set. Okay, These are the cookies by general website. We have not set it. Now, if I click a close, okay, here we have close, right? Broken from a side way. Okay, if I click this close, what happens is like it will create a cookie, okay, with some XYZ expiration date. So let me close it. Are you guys able to see one cookie is set now newly?
Yeah, 7 days.
7 days. Okay, so which means like if I move here, are you able to see any pop-up now? No, right?
No.
But if I delete this one, for example, I'll delete it. I'll delete everything. Okay, and I refresh it again. Now, am I able to see the? Are you guys able to see the pop-up?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, here you do not have the cookie. Okay, if I click a download cookie, download CV, the cookie is set for
10,000 days.
10,000 days, which is like 28 years, the max level. Okay, so this is one part. Ignore about this one. Let's talk about the home page. For this training purpose, I have created one cookie here. Okay, let's remove all the cookies. Now we do not have any cookie, but let me open this page. If I refresh, it will set the cookie. There you have to click the cookie, right? You have to click either close or download CV or something. Then only you are getting this particular, what you call the cookie into your system. But the moment if I refresh this page, it will set the cookie into your system. It will not even ask you for permission. Are you guys able to see the cookie now?
Yes.
So,
Training cookie I have set. Okay, the code is very simple. The code is contains, this is the cookie code I have added for this training. As of for this session itself, I have added this one particular line. Okay, so the cookie always contains a name first. Okay, so this is going to be your name. Okay, this is your cookie name. Okay, this one is going to be your cookie name value. Okay, after that, when it's going to expire. Okay, it is something like if you set it in future, it will stay in your system itself. But if you set it in the past, it will be removed from that moment itself. If it is in past, if the date is past. If you don't set any values, then what happens is like the moment you close the browser, it ends. The cookie ends. Okay. The path is like which part of the website is setting the domain. Sorry, setting the cookie. Okay. If only slash is present means it was set by homepage. If something is just slash Java is there means there is a folder called Java inside the home domain. Okay, in the domain. So which folder is setting the cookie now? Okay, this is the meaning of it. So unfortunately, why I was telling this one is you cannot set the cookie in protractor. Okay, they were still looking for the thing, but they were not able to set it. So shall we able to set the cookie using protractor? There is no inbuilt method, but is it possible?
JavaScript.
Yes, it is JavaScript.
then we can
Yeah, cookie set dot ts. Okay, so let me copy the same thing and cookie, and now I want to navigate to this chercher tech home page. I don't want to perform it. So what we want to do is we want to get the cookie first. Okay, first we'll try to retrieve the cookie. Okay, with the cookie name training cookie. I'm not sure like this is going to be the name or something. Browser dot
Get.
not get manage dot
And
get cookies. Okay, first we'll retrieve the cookie. Okay, whatever is set by me, and then we'll set the cookie again. Okay, So here also we will receive our value. So for that purpose, we will be using variable. Okay. Okay. So I'm trying to get a cookie. Training cookie. We have to pass the name. Okay. Now I can print the cookie values. Console.log. It will have a different properties as I was explaining. No, the domain. Basically, the domain is like from where the cookie is being set. Okay. If I don't provide, it will not get any value. Okay. The whoever sets the cookie, they have to set the domain. Okay. The domain is nothing but the path. Okay. Whatever you are seeing here, you are able to see it here, right? Something. Okay. Now let me pull it down. So here the path is there, right? So that is path, and this is going to be your domain, like which domain is setting. Okay, and then you have a expiry date. Let me readjust the things. Ignore about the size. Size it doesn't matter in our case. So if it is set by HTTPS means it will be secure. It will show. Okay, so we can set those values as well in here. Okay, something like a path secure value. Okay, so there are question marks. Are you guys able to see?
Yeah.
Why?
Optional. Oh no. Yeah. Optional.
Optional only. Good. Okay, so it's optional. So let's set the value in protractor conf. So we got something. Let's see what we got. I'm not sure whether it's there or not. Come. So it says training cookie only. Okay, so the name is training cookie, and that's what we are trying to fetch also. Now let's get some other value, like value. Okay, so here the value is going to be your test. Okay, let's bring it on. Okay, let's print one more value, like a domain and then expiry date. Domain, and if you want path, we can print the path. Expire. Okay, these three will be enough. So just think about scenario like where this will be applicable. Any guess? As I was telling, like price manipulation is one. Yes.
If you have the regular visitor, right?
Yes. If you are regular visitor to something, you can set the cookies there also. For example, what they will do is consider like you are trying to purchase a product in Flipkart. Have you ever seen this? Something like you are almost purchased, but you did not purchase it. Okay. And after every single time, you are seeing that particular ad in Google, and every page you go,
Yes.
it will chase you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is one kind of way of using these cookies. Okay, in that particular page they will set it. Or sometimes, have you guys ever received something like after going to the purchase but you did not purchase, then you tend to get an email from their website itself. Something is there in your cart, right? So
Yes.
those things also happens using these cookies. Okay. So whenever you try to buy a product, just make sure like you opened it in incognito and compare the values, then buy. Okay, so this is how we can retrieve the values. But if we want to set the value, then we have to use the similar way only. Browser dot manage dot add cookie, but it says method, but I'm not sure like what are the parameters it's going to accept. Any guess how to know it?
Control space. When just place the cursor on that, it will show, right?
Control and
Control.
place the cursor. It says like iWebDriver options cookie. Okay, go to this one. So the spec is going to be iWebDriver options cookie, right? Just try to find that particular value. So here you can see it, right? This is your interface. Okay, iWebDriver option cookie is your interface. So you can see the values you can set here in this one, right? Are you guys able to see?
Yeah.
Something like first one says like name and then value and then path and then domain, right?
Yeah.
So let's set something like name equal to Sanjay. Okay, first it takes some name, I guess, and then we have like some value. Argument expects 1, but we got 2. Okay, text specs in the format of spec file. Name value. Okay, I'm trying to set this cookie and I'm not sure it's going to set or not. Here we are passing in the form of array, not array.
JSON.
What do you call this one?
JSON.
Not the file format. Any other format is there?
Key and value.
So what do you call it?
Maps.
Yes. So here also it's called maps only.
Okay.
In if you go for this Python,
Java.
no, yeah, in Java also it's a map, but if you go for Python, they call it as
dictionary.
Dictionaries.
Okay.
Okay, now it's going to wait here. Okay, let's see like whether it has set or not. Okay, go to application and okay, I have not told you guys, right, how to come there. In console log, what do you call this one? In the network tabs here on the inspection, it's called developer tools. Okay, in the developer tools, go to application and here you can see the cookies. Okay, if you see, there is a training cookie, but some value cookie is here. Okay, so this is another way used when you are logging into your Facebook account, any other account. It will not ask you password repetitively. It just accepts. In that case also they will be using cookies. Okay. So one more thing I want to show you guys is, yes, here. So if you ever go and work on fluctuating data, Okay, let me see, like, is there any example in Google? Fluctuating data example. Something like a stock or something. If you see something like that, it will be, changing all the time. It's not there. Fluctuation. Sorry, I have opened it in a wrong thing. Okay, for example, let's consider animation. Okay, for example, let me go to this smooth reveal animation, and so not this. What was it? Okay, fine. We'll see this one itself. Okay, now you can see one animation was coming, right? If I refresh, are you guys able to see, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
I thought like you guys left. Okay, so you will be having this kind of loading page or fluctuating data, something like which changes, fastly. You might not be able to inspect them. Okay, so in such cases, what you can do is just have it to the sidebar or a separate window, and go to your sources. Okay, here can you guys able to see the path?
Yes. Yes, bro.
Okay, so it also you can use a F8 as a key. Okay, now I'm going to refresh it and refresh F8. So is it coming in the same way without stopping, like without moving further?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
you can stop the actual total data coming in, coming out. Okay, now you can go and inspect it if you want. Okay, okay, for this purpose you can use this, what do you call that, as a pass script. Okay, this one, it will give you a step over if you press F10 F10. This will be useful when you are dealing with fluctuating data, otherwise it will not be useful.
Okay.
Okay, just remember that one. And coming to the cookies now again, so we have added the cookies, so let's delete the cookie. Okay, now we are adding it here again. If we delete it, we shouldn't be having this sum cookie. So now you guys are able to see the sum cookie right there.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Browser dot delete, sorry, manage dot delete all cookies, means it will remove all the cookies. Okay, let's use all cookies, and let's rerun it. So it will not have both the cookies. I have set one test cookie and this one is a sum cookie, so both should not be there in our application cache. Okay, now let's inspect it. Go to application and the cookies. There is no cookie. Okay, so even we go out here, you guys can't see any cookies here, right? It's empty total. Now let's stop this execution and let's delete a particular cookie. So if you want to delete a particular cookie, you have to provide the name. For example, if I provide this training cookie, it will remove only that particular cookie. Now let's run. We should have a sum cookie, but we should not have a training cookie. It opened. Again, let's go to application. Expand the cookies and see. We have a sum cookie, but not the training cookie.
Okay.
Okay. So similarly, there should be some other methods. Okay, get cookie. So what you can do is with the get cookie is like you can get one particular cookie with a name. Okay. In other programming languages, it might be called named cookies. Okay, named cookie, they will say get named cookie. Here it's just cookie. And if you want to get every single cookie, okay, for example, let's get all the cookies. Get cookies means it will fetch all the cookies present in that particular domain. Okay, then you can iterate them. So something like our cookies for let I equal to 0, I less than. So normally whenever you have more than one element, it will be in the form of list. Okay, you can get the size and then I plus plus. You can use the dot length method when it has more than one element. Now we can go through one by one. For example, let me bring this 3. Okay, so we have our cookies. Shall we write I of our cookies? So what it does is it will print all the values of a name, domain, expiry date of all the cookies. So as of now, we have 2 cookies. It will print 2 values, like total 6 values, 2 cookie values. So any doubt, guys, on this one?
No, bro.
No problem.
Okay, let's see the screen. So first is test cookie we have. Okay, and after that we have one more cookie, some value cookie. Okay, from here to here. This one is the first one. Okay, so first prints. Okay, and then we have 2 more prints. Okay, this one is for the first one, first 3, and the second one inside the for loop, and sorry, first inside the for loop and second inside the for loop. Okay, so don't take much thing for this cookies, because most of the time you will not be using cookies. Okay, so any doubt, guys? Now
No problem.
on any other thing?
No problem.
Okay, fine.
No, present, no.
Okay, I'll upload the video. Okay, mostly by tomorrow. Actually, I have already uploaded the videos, but I have not uploaded the page actually. Okay, I'll upload it, and you guys will be able to see tomorrow. Okay, for except today's video, you will be able to see. Okay.
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 Okay, guys, that's all for the day. We'll see tomorrow. Okay, we'll discuss how to read files in different files. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Yeah.